Hey everyone, Sean Joel here from Elevation Leaders, where we help you 10x your business valuation. Going to talk to you today about a subject that I care deeply about. Are entrepreneurs born or made? So this is a controversial topic, and let me just tell you a little bit about my story, and you can see how it applies to this subject. So growing up, I had two amazing immigrant parents who worked their tails off. They worked so hard to provide an amazing life for myself, my brother, and my sister here in Canada. And through their hard work, they ended up at big, large companies. My dad worked for Rolls-Royce Canada, and my mom, she worked for Northern Telecom, and we all kind of know where that story went, unfortunately. But they worked for these two large organizations, and they always had a mentality that you work at the same company for a very long time, you're going to get your pension, you're going to be rewarded that way, and you'll kind of sail off into the sunset, which is a great mentality, and I think many people are justified in having that mindset. As a matter of fact, in 2024, we don't see that kind of loyalty anymore, where people will typically stick around at the same company for decades at a time. So my parents worked that way. They taught me the values of hard work. They taught me the values of loyalty. And so in my mind, I thought, okay, for the long run, likely it will be better if I stick around at a larger company. And so when I came out of university, the first place I went to go work was for Newell Rubbermaid, which is an $8 billion company. Everybody knows kind of Rubbermaid sheds and garbage cans, and they have Sharpie pens, and they have Leveler blinds. They have all these divisions. And so I went straight into a large corporation and started working there and started growing my way up in that business. And then I came to a crossroads where the company wanted me to move to Toronto to really pursue my career, because that's where the head office was. There wasn't going to be many opportunities here in Montreal. And at the same time, my in-laws had a family business, and they asked me to join their family business. And that was when I really had my first taste of entrepreneurship. Both my father-in-law, mother-in-law, my partner Joey, who's my brother-in-law, and my wife Sarah, all four are entrepreneurial in their mindsets. They've had several businesses. Sarah even had a clothing boutique that she did for several years. And Joey's always been launching his own businesses. He had a clothing line to start with. And so as I joined that family business, I was coming in as more of a corporate guy with a corporate mentality. And I didn't know much about entrepreneurship. And I wouldn't say I was a born entrepreneur by any means. Fast forward a couple of years, we went through some highs and went through some very difficult lows. Eventually that company actually went bankrupt, which was very difficult on the family. Joy and I had a chance to restart and launch a new organization, a new business called Dallas Lighting. And we've had success with that business over the last 13 years. And I could tell you that in those 13 years, what I learned from entrepreneurship was really from the ground up. I had to learn the basics. I had to figure it out. And do I consider myself a high risk taker, kind of high flying entrepreneur today? No. But do I consider myself an entrepreneur? Yes. And do I think it was learned versus being born with it? In my case, I think I did learn most of the concepts along the way. And maybe it went deeper down to go and get a few things that, I had to figure out on my own, that I had part of kind of my genes, that little bit of risk-taking ability, ability to put things on the line and kind of go all in on a project, which is what we did with Dallas. But what I look at this is there's three main components to when you're thinking about, entrepreneurs born and made, and how you can go about this if you want to take your entrepreneurial skills to the next level. Number one, by far the most important, is your network. Who are you surrounding yourself with? And who are going to be those people who are going to influence you the most? So I have the opportunity of being in the Entrepreneurs Organization. I've been with the same group, for about 11 years now. And in that time frame, that group has taught me so much about entrepreneurship, about how to run a business, about how to take risks. We constantly do presentations on business opportunities. It also ties into our family lives when we're feeling stressed out. How do we take that into consideration and balance and juggle both of these elements? So I would say that surrounding yourself with the absolute right network of entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs is going to be a great place for you to figure out, all those skills that are necessary. Number two, it might seem obvious, but it's really having a thirst for learning. I can tell you that I don't know that much, really, when it comes down to it. When you think about all these amazing entrepreneurs, all these amazing businesses that are being built out there, we always have more to learn. And with the rapid evolution of technology and AI, that's not going to stop. You're going to constantly have to be in this mindset of, learning and this kind of growth and curiosity. And I think that's been one of the things that I've been able to apply quite a bit in my life I'm always asking questions. I'm always trying to learn more. I always assume I don't have the right answer. I always assume that I can learn more in a certain situation. And I can say that that has really helped me take things to the next level. So I would say number two, that's one way of going about it. Number three, so now you have your network, you have this, constant growth for learning, willing to learn, thirst for learning, I should say. And then number three, I think it has to do with risk management. So what I mean by risk management is a lot of times people think when you're an entrepreneur, you're in an entrepreneurial situation, you have to be a high risk taker. And although there are certain times where you're going to need to take risks, I look at it more as calculated risks. I think many really amazing entrepreneurs know how to take calculated risks at the right time. Now, the thing with a calculated risk is that you may not become the next Elon Musk or the next Steve Jobs, who kind of throw it all. Elon Musk is known to have put everything on the line. He made $100 million. He bet it all to go into his next business ventures. And most people will not have that kind of mindset. You will feel secure once you have a bit of financial backing. But there is a way to assess how much risk you're willing to take those levels to another kind of area and see where you feel comfortable, where you feel uncomfortable, and always take enough time to look at situations and opportunities and assess the risk according to your level of comfort. Okay, and then the more knowledge, the more time, the more studying, the more opportunity you take to make sure you go in depth with a certain opportunity or topic, that's when you'll really have, the knowledge and the comfort and the confidence to take the right type of risk because you have done your research. Recently, Charlie Munger passed away, and, he talks constantly, if you go look at his learnings, about the amount of time that he spent reading and learning and deep diving into the companies he was going to invest in. The same applies to us as entrepreneurs or any job that you're taking on, for a matter of fact. Whenever you want to take a key decision, you need to have a lot of information about that decision before you can take it. And then that'll give you confidence in taking the level of risk that fits with where you're at your current career level or in your life. So are entrepreneurs born or made? There's a lot of debate on this. Gary Vaynerchuk says that, you have to be born an entrepreneur. Peter Drucker on the other side says that it's a matter of discipline and that just putting in place that discipline will teach you how to be an entrepreneur. I think you need to make your own decision on this. I definitely think there is a combination of both, but I think there are specific tools, one being a really strong network, two being a thirst for learning, and three really coming down to understanding risk management that will allow you to understand if you are, an entrepreneur today and the things that you could do to become an even better entrepreneur in the future, or think about taking on your first entrepreneurial venture as you move along. So I hope this has been helpful. If you want to share this with a few other people in your network, that would be greatly appreciated. Thanks and have a great day.